One Way Fighting.
Welcome, you're live with Neil and Miles on One Way Fighting. It's post UFC 259. Both of us are knackered for trying to stay up. I fell a kip during the Petty Yam fight, so sorry.
Yeah, I failed, mate. I was
Keep
like,
catching up.
who did I fell asleep to? I think it was Cruz fight. Just before the Cruz fight, I was just like, I just went. I couldn't. That's why I hate him. I hate 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't do him.
It's different when you're out with the lads and you're in a bar and you've got stuff going on around you. When you sat at home and you've got the 2 kids snoring, thinking they're going to be up in 2-3 hours.
Yeah, and then you're just like, oh, it's like, can I do it without no sleep? It's like, nah, not really.
Turn off Facebook. Don't see any results. Watch it the next day.
Yeah. To be fair, I was gonna watch it, and then I just thought, can't be arsed. Like I just fell asleep. I'll write, like, that's the thing. It's always gonna be like that, isn't it? It's one of those risks that we got to take,
And that's the 2 hosts of this podcast. We can't be arsed watching.
Can't be arsed.
Okay. Watch that tomorrow. It's not that important.
But we have watched it. Well, I watched the fights. Not all of it, not gonna lie. But I watched it. It was good. It was a good fight. I thought, should we just go straight into it, yeah?
Who called Jan?
Jan, yeah. When you to be fair, yeah, he did it. And did you watch bits of the fight? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've watched it this morning. Yeah. And
what do you think of his performance? Because he was good. I felt he wasn't at his best. I didn't.
Who, ADESANYA or?
Yeah, I thought, especially when
Jan says, doesn't he? Jan says he expected them to be faster and not hit as hard, but he hit harder and was slower.
Yeah, do you think that's the weight, or do you think that was just maybe how he's training? I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. And the other thing was, when you see ADESANYA's post-fight interview, he goes on about he was trying to let Jan come in with them straight down the line movements so he can try and counter off it. And he said in the first 3 rounds, he didn't really do that. He was feeling them out. He showed respect for them. And I think that's part and parcel. If he was playing to his game plan, he was planning his game plan around what he thought Jan was doing for me. And I always find that you always used to have Mike Tyson going with your game plan. Everyone else has a plan until they get punched in the face type of mentality. Yeah. Going with your game plan. I mean, you always plan for what they're going to do. But at the same time, I think he was expecting them to come in and counter off that, wasn't he? And, I think he put a good performance on. It wasn't really until the last 2 rounds that you really thought that it wasn't up in the air who could win it.
Yeah.
Them 2 legs. Them 2 leg takedowns.
Yeah, I was literally about to touch on that. I think the takedowns did the part. Like I said it on the, which is the podcast up now, isn't it? Yeah, the first one. Yeah, so
it's on YouTube.
To get reference. So I said So I'm not bullshitting here. I'm just I thought the takedowns were going to be a big part. The dirty boxing going in the inside. That's what I meant by ADESANYA. He felt like I saw it in the UFC embedded. Where he's trying to go for embedded. Sorry, fucking my head's gone already. He was trying to go like what we do, double jab cross, double step back, go with the left hook, and circle out. And he did that twice, but he did it really sloppily. And Jan was really quick with coming in the inside with that jab cross or the overhand coming in, and he just landed a couple. I saw it, and I was like, I think that was the difference. I think he didn't expect him to be so quick and so fluid with his punch. And then the takedowns, I thought it was a good game plan. I think, especially if he's a guy who's bigger. Like I said, he was going walking in 30 pounds bigger. You got to get the takedown, and that's what he did twice. First one, he got up, but think of the energy that's going to cost to get back up from that. And then the second one, even ADESANYA said, he needs to. I always said he needs to look at that video again and the analysis, and
Well, I mentioned yesterday, didn't I? I said you think he's quite linear in terms of the way he's moving forwards a lot of the time, Jan, and I think that's what Adesanya maybe planned for a little bit. But I mentioned yesterday, I said his footwork's quite slight. It's not very, they're big movements with Izzy, and it looks fantastic and fluid. It's not as noticeable with Jan, but you notice people struggle with it,
Yeah.
I mean, props to Izzy. He lasted. What? Reyes was first round, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Luke Rockhold was first round. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone the distance with them, and they're two, top class athletes there in terms of who you should be comparing yourself to. He's gone the distance with them. And anybody to come around and say anything along the lines of, well, that's it, him at, light heavy. It's bullshit, really, because you've gone 5 rounds with the champ there, and
exactly. And it was a close fight. It wasn't a close fight. You could even argue maybe the rematch. I think as he's got the 145, he's got to go back and defend it, and then maybe he can go back up. Depends really. But then also, what happens now? What does John Jones obviously fighting for the heavyweight title? That fight is gonna. It's already John Jones is like taking the piss out of him, being like, "Well, you're not a fucking goat, are you?" Which is fair play, he's taunting him. Fair play,
what's he said?
Something like just laughing at him on Twitter and just saying that basically you're like all the hype is fucking gone now, mate. And he was just like, which is I think it's a bit harsh, especially he did go 5 rounds and he was 30 pounds heavy but then that makes you think if Adesanya's got some bollocks on him to do that, not a lot of fighters gonna be like, yeah, fuck it, let's 30 pounds, let's do it. There's rare fighters that will do that, and he's for that alone and going 5 rounds. He one round difference to win. And some of the judging, I think one round was a 10-8 round. I think he said.
Yeah, one was 10-8, wasn't it? And
yeah, I was a bit like,
I don't know. I mean, for me, I think sometimes they get away with the single round judging.
Yeah,
doing, but as long as the overall fight sort of goes one way, but it doesn't always happen like that. Going back to your comments on John Jones, though, you can't start a beef with John Jones and then not expect him to laugh at you when you lose, because
exactly.
I think.
Yeah, John Jones is savage, but then
he's a wild man.
Yeah, it's a fight that we all want. I wanted that fight, but then I don't know. I think John Jones is basically the bigger version of, and maybe you could even argue probably a little bit more skillful and special. I don't know, slightly more than Adesanya, right? I mean, maybe it's a hard one.
Adesanya's got some good fights in him, but let's have a word with ourselves here. John Bones Jones, you can list the names he has beaten, and the only problem he's got is this whole USADA issue. I mean, let's be frank. I mean, that taints his record. How much does that contribute? I mean, he went on Joe Rogan, didn't he, saying the first time was because he had big dick pills?
Yeah. Fucking how many of them did you have, lad? Okay, yeah. And then second time, it's like, what was the second excuse? I thought it was it red meat? He didn't do the Canelo, did he? I'm sure he did something fucking sick.
I'll be honest with you. He had coke in his system as well, didn't he?
Yeah, fair play.
And then that was when they realised you're just dropping people when you're lemoed off your head.
Yeah, just like blinded before.
That's how wild he is, man. He was out driving over pregnant women, getting off his head on coke.
Yeah, I don't know how he got away with that one. Mate, fucking, that was bad. That was bad.
Yeah, I mean, let's have a little look then. So you've got Reyes, Santos, Smith, Gustafsson twice, Cormier twice, Sam Peru, where he wasn't really in any good sort of shape, was he? He was coming back from that layoff. Sonnen, Rashad Evans, McKee there, Rampage, Shogun, Belfort, Matyushenko, Brandon Vera, and I'm going back here to 2010 now. 2010, well, Izzy was about 20 years old then, wasn't he? I mean,
yeah, I think what was it? I saw John Jones was a UFC champion even before I think he had his first MMA fight, or even before he had even his first fight. I think. I mean, I don't. Yeah, something like that. I saw.
yeah,
John Jones, like you said, the only thing that's tainting him is the USADA. Other than that, I mean, if he wins the heavyweight title, him, Habib, GSP, Silva, can't think of anyone else from the top of my head. Oh, Johnson,
Demetrius.
Yeah, Demetrius Johnson. You got to put him in.
Is this go talk again? You see?
Back to it. But in a sense of like, he has to go down. Like, you can't. Even I was a Daniel Cormier fan. I love Daniel Cormier. You can't say that if he goes to heavyweight title and wins, then he goes down in history, right? As one, maybe the best.
I don't think you'll ever have a one true GOAT. And the long and short of it for me is it's subjective, mate.
True.
You look at boxing and you've got Mayweather. I'm the GOAT. Look who I've beaten. Like 51-0 or whatever he is. And then you could turn around and say, yeah, but you look at Roberto Duran. When he started out, he's got like 80, 90, 100 fights, and he was doing 12 fights a year and winning 12 fights a year. 5 or 6 of them fights would be knockouts. And then you go, he's got more losses on his resume, but the output and the entertainment value you'd have got from someone like Roberto Duran or Leonard, Leonard's probably one of them as well. For me, it's subjective. Like, just because you've got that perfect record doesn't necessarily, to me, say you're the greatest of all time.
I think it's people that you fight more, right? It's like football, right? In the sense of, you're always going to lose fights, especially in MMA. You never, it's very rare. I mean, very rare that you go undefeated your whole career. I mean, a handful of people, especially in the elite level, like Habib, even John Jones, technically undefeated. I mean, he did have that decision against him with the 6-12, where he got disqualified.
12-6.
Other than that, I can't think off the top of my head someone who's undefeated world champion now who, led the NT, right? I'm not being stupid for saying that. In the UFC.
No. I mean, yeah. Do you mixed martial arts in general? I mean, you've got Fedor as well.
Yeah, I was going to mention it. Yeah,
who didn't go into the UFC, did he, because of contractual issues or whatnot? I mean, he's been doing Bellator, hasn't he? He's had a few close fights in that, but he's still.
Yeah, he's lost a couple as well. It's stock as well, the stock value of people. So, for example, even Adesanya, before this fight, people say, "Oh, he's the GOAT. He's going to be the GOAT. He's going to be the GOAT." And now people are turning against him, and that's what happens, isn't it? Like, once someone loses, people turn against you. Same as Conor McGregor, same as everyone, and people turn against you, and they quickly say, "Oh no, you're not the GOAT anymore." There you go, boom, just for one loss. Like, it could have been a bad day.
Yeah,
obviously, a great fighter themselves. You're going to lose.
Adesanya and McGregor are too similar in the fact that they're cocky, but they back it up. Yeah. So it's it's one thing going in there and being humble and bang, 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 bang on all the fights. As soon as you do fall from grace, though, it's kind of like, I was waiting to see that. I wanted to see that happen. Just to see have one day of being humiliated. And I didn't really feel that with Izzy, but I didn't with McGregor, to be fair, man. I think he's one of the most entertaining people out there. And, I know you've got your Khabib side and your McGregor side. I don't think either of them are the GOAT. I don't.
Khabib?
I think he's got potential to be, definitely. But I just feel like
they're saying twice in a row. This controversial, that.
I think there's more to do for him.
Yeah, there is. But then you got to think of the guys that he's fought, right? But I think what's he got to do? Who has he got to beat now to be the GOAT? Who would you say, like, because he's been calling out GSP, he doesn't want it, so he can't do that.
He's calling out GSP, who's not fought since Bisping. And even then, he hadn't fought for a year or two before that. And that was off the back of a juiced up Johnny Hendricks demolishing GSP and then losing.
What's he do? Go up? What away? Fight? What's he doing? To be the GOAT?
Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to cut you off there. No. By the way, we've spoke about this. I've got to apologise to Miles because apparently I just think that my voice is the only one that counts. So I've got to start listening.
Sorry, you called out the Russians. You called out. You called Peter Bloody. What's it?
Peter Yan.
Yeah, called him Peter. What else? You had to apologise to me, and then
it's not bad for 28
not minutes. Not a bad week. Everton, mate. If Everton loses, that's it. You're just retired, mate. Just
we're not talking about footy. This is MMA.
Yeah.
Sean Hammer Martin, who we've got on later, you won't want to say that to his face, anything about Everton. Yeah. He's a mad player.
That's why I'm getting all that negative energy out now. Just I'm all right. I'd rather keep this face clean. To be fair, I've got a couple marks from sparring, but you know.
Yeah, with the missus.
Back
to it. So you're saying about Khabib?
Yeah, sorry, I was still in my head.
I mean, the problem I had with Khabib was the first half of his career wasn't as noteworthy as the second half. I still think whoever you put in front of him, he's beaten.
Say it again.
So the first half of his career wasn't as good as the second half, but I still think whoever you put in front of him, he's going to beat.
Yeah, I would like to I'd like to see him maybe go welterweight. I know that's the thing though. This is what's annoying. Like to be the GOAT, you have to go get 2 belts, 3 belts, and it's like, do you? Like he's wiped out everyone, except Tony. But Tony, he's beat Justin Gaethje. He's beat everyone. Like who has he left in that lightweight division? Who's he not? Like he's fought everyone, right? I mean, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Who has he not fought in that lightweight division? Beat. Or they've been beaten, ruin their opportunity to fight.
Would you suggest him going up and trying Usman?
I think he has to, right? I mean, if he wants to go for the undisputed, if he beats Usman, no doubt, like no one can ever say that he's not the GOAT, right? He has full claim, number one. I feel. I think he's the GOAT now, if I'm honest. I mean, obviously. I just see it there. I think if he goes up, I think he gets that 100% in the MMA media and on the pay-per-view rankings and pay-per-view rankings, the rankings and yeah. But then I don't know. I want to see. I like to see him fight again though. I think he's still got, like you said, he has got a lot more to give still.
I do think so. Yeah, I think. We haven't discussed my McGregor theory, but that's for another video. The McGregor fight when I'm
okay, we'll keep that. We'll keep that.
We'll keep that one for content for another day. That.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I said this yesterday. Like the way Demetrius Johnson, he carried on fighting and winning until eventually someone beat him. Because that's what you do. You can't help what's put in front of you. I mean, the hunger is an issue. You've got to keep the hunger, but I feel like I feel like he's just taking time out and he doesn't realise it. I think in a year or two's time, that talent pool is going to be refreshed. There's going to be new blood in it. There's going to be, he doesn't necessarily have to go up a weight. He can have a rematch with someone who's been quite close, or just take someone from lower down in the rankings. It's not like he doesn't fight 2-3 times a year, so he only has to fight once in a year, for the next 2 years for that talent pool to refresh, and then the challenge will be there again.
Yeah, I think I still like that. I don't know with Heavy. He's done everything right. I mean, the only thing that he's maybe missing is double champ. But does he want that? It'll be good. It'll be a big fight. I mean. Usman's another one. What challenges he got? I mean, he is smashing through that division.
Yeah, But
And
with Usman, I think he's a different kettle of fish. I think when we were talking about Khabib, I don't think he's asked about 2 belts. I think he's asked about fighting. He wants to put it on someone. And I think that's probably why he's feeling the way he is, as well as his dad. He wants to put it on them, dominate them. It's in his nature. Usman is just like a fantastic athlete. But I remember, and people will laugh at me, thinking Tyron Woodley. I remember the first time I watched him drop Robbie Lawler. Like, it was nothing. And I thought, oh, he's tasty him. Like, he's going to be fucking the next best thing. But now he's dropped that form. I never ever thought that would happen with Khabib. With Usman, I feel like maybe he doesn't have that. I'm saying this, like, you know, I'm saying this. I can't talk. I don't know him, but I don't feel like maybe necessarily it's going to be forever.
Yeah, but nothing's forever, right? I mean, we saw that with Silva in his career. I think you have the prime. You got to if you with a GOAT, or even just in test them as a fighter, you got to see them at their prime and how they were, right? The same as Conor, everything. But I think with Conor, he's still in his prime. I think now. I think this is that's the difference with him and Habib, and they're both still in their prime, and we showed who, you know. But going back to Adesanya, what's his next fight? I think, because I last podcast I mentioned him. I think Darren Till. It's got to be. I think Darren Till's got he's got a fight lined up. I think first, isn't he? Against I think he's a Swedish guy. I forgot his name. I'll get it up whilst we're talking. And then oh, Mum's calling me. Can't answer that. But yeah, that'll be the fight I want to see. I think that'll be a big fight. And
big fan of Till. Big fan.
I love Till, mate. I love Till.
Being from where I'm from, and I know a few people in Cabon, and that's I just want him to do it. I want him to do it, but I'm biased on that. Like, you know, you could sit there and tell me some stuff, and I just won't listen to it.
I think he wins. I think he wins, especially if he takes it now. I think he wins. I mean, and I'm biased. I am biased because I love Till. I think I want him to be a champion, especially for England and all that. And as a fighter, I like him. He's probably my favorite fighter right now.
Yeah, I mean,
outside of my gym,
he's not scared of anyone, is he? I mean, it's one of them. That could be a problem in a sense, like, but he's just not scared of anyone.
No, he's not.
Have you seen the video of him on Facebook where the police are trying to get him to put a mask on?
Yeah, that
he just screams him down. You can have a couple of business there. He's not bothered. He'll just tell you, no, shut up.
Yeah,
that's it.
I think he's honest with himself as well. I think, like I said last podcast about the internal battles that he has with his mind and all that, and I think he's honest with himself. I think it would be a great fight. I think that'll be a huge fight. I think, especially both of them are a bit of a shit talkers. Darren Till, massive shit talker.
He's having a laugh though, isn't he?
Yeah.
The John Jones Adesanya thing seems bitter. You see, like the Mike Perry thing and all that, like where he thinks he's having a spar.
Yeah,
he's having a laugh at him, and he's just slapping him, going, "Shut, you're off your head." Like, he's like just taking the piss. And that's what I like. He doesn't take it too serious, but he is serious. It's like, it's a fine line with him, you know.
Yeah, I think he knows the game, right? He knows what to do. He knows what he has to do to get those fights, to promote it. I want to do it. I want him to do it. I was so, that Woodley fight, when that happened, I was just like, that was one of the, when you see your favorite fighter lose, and it just like crunches you. That was like one of those moments, and like I think he's learned from it though. You've seen it in his fights. And obviously, who did he fight? And he lost by decision. The Australian guy, what's his name? Whitaker. He went decision with him. I thought that was really close, really, really close. And that shows that he's there. Like, I mean, that was so close that, if they ever had a rematch, it could go either way. I still feel that, and I feel
Rob Whitaker's something else. Like, he is,
and he is, and it would be. and it would be good to see what if Till wins. I mean that brings his stock. I think that'd be I think that's a fight to make, right? I mean, who else has he got? Who else would you put forward for if you're a matchmaker that right now?
Darren.
No, for Adesanya.
Oh, for Adesanya?
Yeah, most likely going back down, right?
Yeah, I mean, for Adesanya, mate, I'd literally, he's going to go back down the weight. I'd just let him pick a fight if I was Dana White, because I don't think his confidence an issue.
No.
I don't think it is, because he's got that famous knockout in the kickboxing video that every page shares like it's gold dust. He doesn't shy away from it. You heard him saying it, you know, a loss is a loss, but it is what it is. You've just got to, take it, learn and move on. I personally, I'd go to him and say, you know, you get your pick, get a big money fight, but pick something that's comfortable, because they want him. They want him long term in.
So I think because I was just searching whilst you're talking, Darren Till, I think he's still got the fight lined up with Jack Hermansson. I think that's how you say his second name.
Hermansson, is it?
Hermansson. All right, sorry, put that up. And I think if he beats him, I think title shots there. Maybe he's got one more fight. I don't know. I think that he'll go. He's 7th right now. Obviously, he lost against Whitaker, but then Israel's already fought Whitaker. He's already fought Costa. I mean, he could fight. What was it, Jarrod, the American 4th ranked guy. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? He goes straight into a fight, or do you think he waits a bit?
No, I think he waits a good few months, mate, because he's got to drop weight and everything, hasn't he, to go back down.
I don't know though, because he didn't. He said on his fight week that all he had to do was he did the same thing. He just didn't worry. He kept the same routine as he would normally, and couldn't wait for, like. He didn't have to cut weight, so it's not like his body's gonna be. He could probably cut weight, and I don't know. I think I won't be surprised if he comes back quick, or he goes for the rematch. I don't think that'll happen. Or he goes back down, does it quick in the next probably what month we're in, March. I won't say May, maybe September. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes quick, maybe fights Jarrod, 4th ranked guy, beats him, Till beats Jack, then maybe line up that fight, and then beats Till. If he beats Till, goes back up, tries maybe go for the lightweight title again.
Vittori's off the back of a win as well, isn't he?
Who?
Vittori.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I'll just double check that so we don't look like idiots if he hasn't.
Don't worry about looking like an idiot, mate. I remember him winning.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, a decision winner versus Miranda. Victor Miranda, I think that's right. Unless it's the other one.
I think maybe Till, maybe Vittori, because you're looking at that top few there, and I think he's fought Costa, he's done it with Whitaker and that. I see the two of them being the ones there that he can look to fight with. Uriah Hall's one that has been calling him out as well.
Yeah, but it's what is he even ranked?
About 9th, isn't he?
No, yeah,
9th, 10th, 11th, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to look up, right? I mean, that sounds a bit, but I don't know. I don't think that's the right fight for now. I mean,
but again, like I said, you might just want to give him a fight. He's a big name. He's not up there in the rankings. Give him a fight with someone who's exciting and explosive. They're both similar styles, and the fact that he's going to want to stand. And if you're wanting to get a fight where he's wanting to work on that ground game, because everyone's going to say now, "Oh, I'll just take him down." That's how you do him.
You could argue that you could see. I know, UFC anyone can win. You saw that with I think was it I don't know who it was. Well, was it Mike Bis? What ranking was Mike Bisping versus when he went into the Luke Rockhold fight? He was. I don't think he was like top 5.
I think he was top 5. Yeah, I think so, mate.
When he looked.
Yeah, because the Rockhold fight was the one he'd lost in like the last however many fights. It was only really him and Henderson that had beaten him.
I know he came in with short notice, and then obviously we all know what happened.
He's the most underrated fighter, Bisping, really, in my, because he was champion and he had a few close fights on it and that, but I that was one of my favorite fights of all time, that second Luke Rockhold fight, because the way Luke Rockhold was with him and that, and I know Bisping can wind people up, that's part of his game plan, but just see him drop that guard and just catch him. He caught him with that left hook, didn't he? The 1-3, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then just bam, bam, just don't you ever type thing. Just put him against the cage. It was, for me, that was one of the best UFC moments. Like, I mean, I know you get people in America and that'll be like.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit biased for us. It's we're English and that, and
I like Rockhold as well. I like Rockhold. I just think.
Never really got into him. I mean, he you have to like it. I mean, all UFC fighters and that, but. As him as a fighter, of course, I like him. I mean, him as he's a good fighter. I don't know. His personality doesn't get me.
Gives a fuck about his personality, man. That's how I look at it.
That's a big part, right? If you're gonna invest time to for me, I know it sounds probably not the best thing to say on a podcast, but for a fighter especially to like him to that, like to watch him, I'm not gonna stay up at, like, especially with here 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, if they don't intrigue me as a fighter, you know what I mean? If like I'll stay up for the Connors, I'll stay up for the Adesanya, I'll stay up for John Jones,
I'll stay up for the scrap.
If it's a good fight, like for example Leon Edwards coming up, that we'll talk about midweek more in depth. Can't wait for that fight. Obviously, every English fight, most English fighters, to be fair, I'll stay up for, just because I always support them. Yeah, I'll always, man. Even if they're on, especially if they're on the prelims, I'll watch it and then I'll probably carry on. To be fair, if it's like that, but like Molly McCann, she's coming back, I think.
Beast.
So she's beast. That'll be a good fight.
Ask Sean later about Molly McCann. He's close with her, I think. And she's out of next gen, I think it is, next generation, where you've got the likes of Paddy Pimblett and that. You've had a few decent fighters come out of that gym. I think she's in next gen anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
I'd stay up for, to be fair. I remember watching him, when he was sick after the fight. I remember watching on the BT. I think that was the first proper fight I watched. I was like, this guy is mad. And then obviously in the gym that people know he's a big name, especially around there in Cage Warriors, and obviously one of my guys was had I won't say who, but actually I think I'm allowed. I don't know. Those rumors of the fight happening, but it just didn't happen.
Well, what we'll do is we'll wrap it up saying that Jan had a good night, basically. Nunes. Yeah. We said yesterday it was going to happen. Jan, it was disqualification, won it. Dominic Cruz, again, I think that the judging on that was a bit random, but I think he clearly won the fight. The third round, he was dominating. And the only other one, did you see Song Yadong? Kyler Phillips head kicked him. He's either got a shin like jelly or Song Yadong's head's like a Lego man's head, because he just took that and just didn't care. That was awesome, mate. Awesome.
A fight like that just takes it. I mean, it's exciting time. See what happens now. What actually, to finish off, I think we've got to talk. We talk about what's next for Adesanya. We've got to talk about what's next for Jan. What would you say? I mean, does he just keep defending? Does he? His stock's going to go up now.
Giving Glover Teixeira the fight, isn't he?
Is that the next fight for him?
He basically said Glover deserves it, and that he's getting old, and that he wants to make that happen because he wants to fight him, because he's, you know, he's been the man there for years, hasn't he? He's just never really done it at the top. Gustafsson hit him with that uppercut bombardment. And you had Jones took him to pieces. So he's never really been able to finish. So it'd be his third and final shot, really, wouldn't it? So I think Teixeira's the name that Jan came out with, and he didn't really say, like, I'm going to speak to Dana about it. He went, we're going to make the Glover fight happen.
He's a proper fighter, he is. I mean, just even like his build-up, the interview I saw,
great hands.
Yeah, he's a proper fighter. I mean, he's conducts himself well, and he's the way, you know, he's a hard man. You know what I mean?
So he started out from what I recall, it was in Catskills, New York, in the gyms in the area around where Tyson was training with Customata, and he's got like a real good sort of boxing background to share, or at least a good one for a background for a mixed martial artist. And his hands are pretty good, which is really a shame why he got took apart technically by Gustafsson, because you would have liked to have seen him, you know, a bit more. But then Gustafsson, I'll send you this. I've got a picture with Gustafsson.
Yeah,
Gran Canaria. He came along, and I'm either standing on he's either standing on the curb and I'm not. But he's like that to me. I'm like 6'3", 18 stone, and he just makes me look like a little bitch. He's a mean ass man, mate. But he was a lovely guy, you know. I had my kid with me, and I was like, just stop, get a photo, lad, get a photo. And he was like, yeah, sure, no worries. He was getting in a taxi, dragged him out the taxi to do it. Lovely guy, though. Lovely guy.
Yeah.
And it was just after he lost Jones too. So you would have thought he'd have just wanted to be in his own place, like, because he was on holiday. But go on. Well, we'll wrap it up anyway. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the notifications. Sorry we strayed from the UFC to talk about goats again. We'll try and keep on topic in the future. But it is what it is. And
don't forget to like and subscribe, share.
Fuck you, it's our podcast. We'll talk about what we want.
Yeah.
No, we won't. We'll look at your comments. If you don't like it, we'll talk about something else. Go on. Have a good day, everyone.
Take care. Loose.